Today on the podcast, we're switching it up. We are talking about the things that I wish I would have known when I first started playing music to what I know now. We'll see you on the inside and we'll talk about it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's podcast. Thank you for swinging by. I really appreciate it. I really am grateful to have you guys here, so thank you very much. You are visiting the Songwriter's Planner podcast. My name is Mike, creator of the Songwriter's Planner, and I love putting out these podcasts, so thank you for swinging by. If you are new here, please feel free to check out my previous episodes. I believe I'm in the mid-30s now with this episode. So I'm really thankful that you've been able to join me here. And like I said, I really enjoy putting these out. And if you have Spotify and if you have iTunes, please, you can find my podcast on those platforms as well as on my website, songwritersplanner.com. All right, guys, I kind of made it a point that from now on, I really want to jump into the content of the podcast a lot quicker. I don't want to leave you guys waiting. And I'm really excited about today's topic. So I follow a YouTuber on YouTube. His name is RJ Ronquillo, and he is he's a celebrated guitar player. He's a really cool session guy. He plays out of Nashville, and he does YouTube vlogging, and he does gear reviews and things like that. So he's just a really great YouTube personality. And he recently put out a vlog and the title of it was the 5 things that he wished he knew as a guitar player when he first started out to what he knows now. And I loved it. It was a great vlog, and it really got me thinking about, how do I feel about that? And so I wanted to switch it up this week for the podcast and kind of turn the cameras in towards me and the microphone in towards me and kind of throw myself out there and share with you folks the 4 things that I wish I had known as a musician when I first started to what I know now. A little bit of background of me. My default mode is a drummer. I'm a drummer. I've been playing drums since I was probably about 13. So let's just say that was a long time ago. And I've been in bands ever since. And since then, obviously, I've learned a whole heck of a lot more as a musician since 13 years old. And because of this vlog, I really started thinking about the things that I wish I knew when I first started out. Depending on where you are in your journey, if you are just starting to play, congratulations, that's awesome. The world needs you. And or if you are like me and you've been playing for many years and you start thinking about, wow, what have I learned over the years? And what are the things that I could have learned, or if I'd only known then, how much easier would that journey have been for me? So, after this podcast, feel free to reflect and think about how far you've come. And I would love to hear that. All you have to do is hit me up on Facebook and send me an email and share your stories with me. I really love hearing that. But so we're going to jump into that today. And I want to start off way back when I was a 13-year-old wide-eyed drummer looking to play and ready to join my first band. The first thing that I wish I would have known then that I know now is that all music styles, genres have something to offer. Now, if you're like me, when you first start playing out, you're really heavily influenced by someone or some style of music. For me, it was rock. I mean, there was no doubt about it. I am a rock guy. Rock would probably be my number one style of music that I just loved playing. And when I was younger, all I did was listen to rock music. And of course, nothing's better than doing that when you're young and you're just getting involved. But what I did was I also did not listen to other types of music. I only listened to one genre of music. And I wouldn't say I really shunned the other styles of music. I just felt like they didn't have anything to offer. So I listened to rock pretty much 95% of the time. I loved hip hop and I listened to hip hop, but at the time I was just in one mode, and that was rock music. I didn't really feel like other styles of music had anything to offer me. And I think that was a mistake that I made, because when you're young and when you first starting out, you're playing your instrument, you're just heavily influenced usually by 1 or 2 people. And those people are usually in the same genre of music. So I felt, go full steam ahead into the style that I liked and just kind of forget about everything else. Well, over the years, I've learned that there are so many styles of music that have many things to offer: jazz, reggae, Latin music, country music, you name it, rockabilly. I mean, there's just so many styles of music that are out there, fusion, that you can learn from as a musician that will only make you a better musician. And if anything, it'll make you understand different styles of music better. So when you get into different playing situations, whether you're auditioning for a new band or you're, checking out other bands, you understand the music better, and it makes you just a well-rounded player. That's something to really consider. And if you're a younger musician or newer musician out there, I would really highly suggest that you open your ears to styles of music that you wouldn't normally listen to, classical music, things like that, anything to help you become a better listener and a better player. So that is one of the things that I wish I could go back and tell young Mike. Hey, don't limit yourself to just rock music. Go ahead and listen to all other styles of music, and you'll catch on quicker, and you'll be a better musician for it. Okay. The second thing that I wish I would have known then that I know now is that networking and personal relationships with people in the business is almost just as important as playing and creating music itself. If you are a musician, a career person, or you're just trying to make a name for yourself in a music scene or build up your own music, then you know how important it is to network and to have relationships with other people in your industry, whether it be club owners, whether it be other musicians, whether it be management people, whether it be media people. Those relationships are just as important as creating the music themselves, because you can create music yourselves and you can sit in your bedroom all day long and write music. But if your interest is to get out and play in front of people and get your name out there, then networking is really important. You got to meet people who own venues. You got to meet other musicians in case you need a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, or you need something to record with. You got to meet people who run studios. These are all really, really important aspects of playing music. And I wish I had known that back then, because I was just kind of more focused on my band, focused on me as a drummer, focused on getting those things done. I didn't really start off with building relationships with other people outside of my musical projects. And I wish I had done more of that, because that opens up doors of opportunities to you later on in case your music project falls apart, or you're looking to join another band, or you're looking to get into another venue. These are all really good relationships to have with people so that they know who you are, and you can reach out to them if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to make a change. Networking and relationships, just like in business, are really, really important in music. And you want to flex that muscle. You want to just get used to getting out there and shaking hands with people, going to open mic nights, going to other people's shows, and just meeting new people. So I wish I would have known that. I was a little more closed off back in the day. I really didn't reach out and network with a lot more people. I think I could have done that more now that I think about it. So, I wouldn't say I regret it, but I really just think that I could have done better at it. So again, if you're out there and you're just starting out, that's something to consider. Go ahead and talk to new people, find new people to talk with, network with, and it might open some opportunities for you that you could never imagined. So that was the second thing. The third thing is, and I really, really feel strongly about this one, is that I wish I would have learned how to play another instrument aside from just my main instrument. Like I said, I am a drummer. I play the drums, but I am kicking myself in the butt, literally, for not learning how to play another instrument, say the piano. I've always loved, or wondered how to teach myself or how to play the piano. I was just obsessed with it, but apparently not obsessed enough to actually take the time to learn it. I really wish I would have taken time to learn how to play the piano, learn how to play the guitar better. And at this point, if I think about learning it back then, where would I be now? I'd be a great pianist. And how cool would that be? Now, since then, I have taken on learning the piano, but it has been only in recent years. So I've lost all that time where I could have picked up and kind of contributed more. Learning to play a secondary instrument or learning to play another instrument is a great idea. If you're just starting out and you're in love with your guitar, great, that's awesome. But also pick up the bass, get on a drum kit, or mess around with an organ or piano. try to pick up other instruments, because what that does is it makes you more valuable as a musician and expands your horizons as to what you can do. You can, if you play guitar and you learn to play drums, now you can be your own drummer if you want to record something. At least if you want to do demos. If you're a drummer and now you can play guitar, now you can write your own songs in that sense. Heck, even if you want to learn how to DJ or something, just learn these different skills. If you become a multi-instrumentalist, you just become so much more value to yourself as well as to the musical projects that you either join or collaborate with. It's okay to have your primary instrument. Everybody starts somewhere. And for me, it was drums. For you, it may be the piano. For you, it may be the bass. Wherever you are, start there, but then also don't forget to expand your horizon as a musician. Learn something else. Put in time to learn another instrument and just be that much more valuable to you and to whatever you want to do in the future. So that's another thing that I really wish I would have done. And that's probably one of the things that I do regret. I don't regret a lot of things in music, but that is one thing that I do regret. And of course, like I said, in the past couple years, I've started to try and remedy that. And I have been picking up more piano and writing songs on it and just doing more, because now I think I get it. It's taken me this long to understand that and to realize that. So be a multi-instrumentalist, learn a different instrument, not just the one that you are on. That is my third thing that I wish I would have known then that I know now. And lastly, we're going to look at the last thing that I wish I considered or thought about back then that I really feel now is that the reality is there is no time limit no time limit into you being a musician and that you have to achieve a certain goal. Back when I started playing and I was a younger player, I always thought I need to achieve something at a certain age, or I need to be somewhere at a certain time period. Because if I'm not, then I'm just going to give up. Why am I doing this? I used to think that way back then. And now I know that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much time you've spent. You can just continue to play. And what you're going to do, you're actually going to fall more in love with it. And putting time limits on your ability as a musician or your achievements of success, whatever you think is success, it's not necessarily something you need to do when you first start out, because you don't know the journey that music is going to take you on. And when you get to be, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you're going to find that you're not going to want to stop playing no matter what, no matter how old you get. You could get up into your 40s, 50s, 60s. And if you really love creating music and you really love playing with people, that there is no time limit. And, that's something that I think is really important for younger players to think about, because when you start off playing, you have these goals of, fame and success, or at least whatever you view as success. And from there, you start to put limits on yourself and say, well, I better be at this point by this age. And if I'm not, then I'm considering myself a failure. That, I think, is not true. And not the best way to approach being a musician or approach being in a musical project. Because the reality is, over time, you'll realize that all you do is the world opens up even more. The more time you put into it, the world opens up more, because you put all this time and you just fall more in love with music and you're not going to want to stop. And time limits and these things just kind of fade away, because if you do reach a goal, guess what? There's going to be another one right behind it that you're going to want to achieve. And it just goes on and on and on. And you'll never stop wanting to do more in music, no matter what age you hit, no matter how long you've been doing it. I really, truly believe that is the case. And it's something that I have learned over the years, playing with other people playing in other bands and other musical situations, and that it doesn't really end. And you can't limit yourself that you need to stop at a certain point or age or achievement, because there's always going to be something more. And the older you get, the more that you're going to love doing it just to do it because it makes you happy, not because you need to hit some time frame. And I think that is really important to share with younger players who are just starting out, who want to achieve something. And, just don't limit yourself. Don't put those kinds of restrictions on your performance as a musician, because I think you're going to find over time that they're just gonna fade away. You're not gonna feel like that. And that's how I felt. And I know that's how a lot of people that I play with have felt over the years. And it's just a really satisfying feeling. So hopefully you'll feel like that as well. So that is this week's podcast. I just wanted to share those 4 things with you guys. Thanks for hanging in with me. Hopefully you can think about your journey and how far you've come. If you're just starting out, some things to think about. If you've been playing for years, go ahead and reflect and see how far have you come? What have you learned now? And what do you wish you could have applied to your younger self back then that you can now also share and give advice to younger players and make them more well-rounded? It's a valuable thing, and it's a beautiful thing that we can share as musicians, from seasoned musicians all the way down to people who are just starting out. So, all right, guys, that is today's podcast. I thank you for swinging by. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you at the next one. Feel free to visit me at songwritersplanner.com or on my Facebook page. Share me your thoughts, your experiences. I want to hear it. All right, guys, peace and love. We'll see you next time.